everyone, I'm Kaesha. I'm very honored to be asked to do this today. Unfortunately, it's not the way that we all maybe had wished, as I know I wish we could all be celebrating in person, but I guess this is a close second. I really wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the support I've had to get me to where I am today. It took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do with my career. I took 1 year at Mount Royal University as well as another year at the University of Lethbridge, playing basketball at both. While yes, I loved the sport I had played since moving to Medicine Hat in grade 10, I never quite felt like I could see the light at the end of the tunnel with the schooling I kept taking. It felt like I was going in circles and just was going nowhere. So shortly after I finished my second year at the University of Lethbridge, I decided to move home. And this is where I started working at a local pub here in town. This is actually when I first met Elaine, who is literally the sun that shines through every storm. Her personality could catch anyone's attention. She's so bubbly, caring, compassionate, but on the other side, you do not want to be on her bad side. She's the type of person that anyone would want as a friend. She's so selfless, and all she ever wants is the best for everyone. Slowly after getting to know her and her life, I became quite interested in what she was always talking about, and one of those main things were her job, as she taught the medical office assistant program in Medicine Hat. I've never in my life seen someone love what they do more than her, and that's when my realization kicked in. That I wanted to be like that. After many talks with her, I decided to look into the program that she taught. And ever since I did that, I have never regretted nor looked back at the decision I made. It was the best thing I could have ever done for myself. And the thought of me not doing it or opting out of this option still scares me to this day. Elaine is the type of person that would come in early, would stay late just to help you or anyone. You could text her at 1 a.m. and you would still get a response. When I say she puts everybody's success and happiness above hers would be an understatement. This woman deserves the world after helping me get my world started. As the pandemic started, it became really hard to get a hold of anyone in the school and get the help that any student requires. With the changing staff and the closing down of the school, it didn't make anything easier. In fact, it made it insanely harder. Online schooling sucked, but Elaine still knew how to keep us engaged and included in everything we did, even if it was through a computer. While my course was becoming close to the end, Elaine found a practicum for me to do. While not being fully done my school, I was a little apprehensive whether I should jump into this or if I should kind of finish school as my number one priority. She had convinced me it was the right thing to do, as there was a new specialty clinic here in Medicine Hat opening. It opened in June, and this was probably just the end of July. I started my practicum the second week of August and instantly fell in love with what I do. I fell in love with everyone I met in that environment. I was quite lucky because as soon as my practicum ended, I was hired, and I'm forever thankful for that. If it wasn't for Elaine looking out for me, I would have never landed the job that I've dreamed for all my life. I work alongside two of the best doctors I could ever ask for, and coworkers now have become lifelong friends. Honestly, Elaine, I would not be where I am today loving my life if it wasn't for you, and I cannot thank you enough for that. My family has been my rock since day one. They have always been the ones there for me every time I have failed and need to get back up. The tears, the smiles, the laughs are what have got me through this. Like I said, doing this during a pandemic is not easy whatsoever. But I always knew I had them to count on, which made everything so much easier. Throughout my experience in post-secondary, I finally feel like I deserve it in the end after all of my setbacks. If it wasn't for Elaine, my family, my friends, I wouldn't be here today telling my story. Thank you to everyone as well as everyone at the Academy of Learning to get me here today, to be as successful as I can be. I really couldn't have done it without all of you. So thank you.